Welcome into Deseret News Rewind, the schedule video. Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, is always presented by Highland Associates, brought to you by the Utah National Guard and outfitted by Black Clover. In these schedule videos, we just go right into it.
Yeah.
We got enough things to go through. We're going to talk about the best, or the top game, well 10 games this week. I don't want to say always the top games, but 10 games this week. And not only that, we let you beat us. Because we let you. Put in your picks, and if you beat us, we're going to talk about it. Luke Rogers and Larry Burt, you beat us this week. We're going to show you by how much. They both went 8-2, so congratulations to Mr. Rogers and also Larry Burt on beating us head-to-head this week. But I beat you, so I feel a little better.
Well, I like to be in last place, Dusty. I like to be kind of the sleeper. I'll turn it on later.
Line in the weeds. Rise and shine, Ricky. Without any further ado, let's go to this week's picks. West at West Jordan.
Interesting matchup here, huh? West Jordan, a big-time win. Farmer with the 3 rushing touchdowns this last week and the double overtime win over Hunter. Clarence Bird Butler, though, he's an absolute stud you got to watch for. And this West team can throw the ball a little bit. They have some versatility in that offense. To me, the big question is, can they move the ball consistently enough against this West Jordan team? I think this is a great matchup. I'm going to go with West on the road, but would not be surprised if West Jordan gets the win.
Oh, mercy. Yeah, this is a tough one. I'm trying to play it out in my head, and I just don't know what to do. For the sake of just making sure we're opposites, which most of the people who pick against us don't have to worry about, I'm going to go West Jordan.
All right.
That's tough.
It can go either way. It's
really, really tough. It is a good game. That's really evenly matched. Ridgeline at Bear River.
How about a big win this week for Bear River? Ridgeline as well, I believe, won this week. I'm trying to play back in my mind. So much emotion goes into those rivalry games. Can you get focused back in on first game in region play for the Bears? They're going to be at home. What Bear River team shows up? I'm going to go with Ridgeline. I think they've been a little more proven to this point in the season. So I've got the Riverhawks.
Yeah. I'm going to go Ridgeline as well. Ridgeline's playing really good. They're playing great football right now, and I'll go with Ridgeline just to help Bear River. Bingham at Westlake.
This Bingham team, Dusty, it's starting to come together. Pepper's starting to come together. We knew it would, right? Said it's going to take Peck some time to get things in order there. What kind of focus does a loss bring to Westlake? They were 3-0. You get a loss, you get that, reminder of, hey, we got to come in. We got to be certain. Very few teams need that with Bingham on the schedule, right? Westlake going to be at home. This is an opportunity for them to really cement that 2020 is going to be a different year for them. It would go a long way for the Thunder. That being said, I think Bingham starting to feel more comfortable. Maine looked really good. That defense looking really good. Only allowed 1 offensive touchdown to Timpview this week, so I got the Miners.
Yeah, I think Bingham's figuring it out, and Coach Peck keeps saying, hey, don't judge us in the first few weeks. They've had so much stuff going on. Everyone has, but they've had some weird stuff too. Just heartbreaking stuff as well. I'm going to go Bingham. I think Bingham's figuring it out, and that's not because I don't think Westlake's any good. I think this game's really close. The nature of this game, it is going to be the Harriman game part D out there in Saratoga Springs, and Coach Louis Wong finally getting that game against Dave Peck. Highland at Salem Hills.
I think this is an interesting one, Dusty. We talked about the Salt Lake schools East and Highland being delayed due to COVID, not being able to, get the practices going. Even their games they've been playing away, just barely Salt Lake City moving to a yellow status. We hope that that's a sign of good things to come for us in the community and in Salt Lake County. Highland getting better. They had a nice win this last week. I think that option attack gives Salem Hills something else to look at. Elmer, though, there's not a lot of defenses that know how to scheme well against Jarrett Elmer. I'm going to go with Salem Hills, but I think Highland, that offense, the uniqueness keeps this close.
Yeah, I think so too. And think about Elmer, it's not just throwing the ball. How about he can run too? 99-yard touchdown run, they got called back. And he just went for another one over 80. Thanks, Cade, for sharing that with us. But I'm going with Salem Hills as well. I think it's going to be a close one. Interesting matchup. Kearns, by the way, we didn't mention in Deseret News Rewind, 84 points in a win against Taylorsville, and a big night as they go against Riverton.
They scored 60 in the first half.
Yeah.
They've only been over 60 twice in the last 50 years in a game.
A proud Cougar alum, Jody Genesee.
Yeah, this was incredible.
They scored more points on Friday night than they had in 3 separate seasons.
Yeah.
The total for the seasons they scored on last Friday.
All right, Coach Rickers, I'm going to help you out here. Folks, that's great. That game's in the past. You better focus, because this Riverton team is really good. They showed it this last week. Their defense was tenacious against Granger, had 4 defensive touchdowns. I think Kearns, if they can get good play from the quarterback position, which they did. Toyeval was on fire. I think he had 5 passing touchdowns in the win. They've got the options in Bassa, in Kelly, to move that ball through the air, and one of the best running backs in classification in Lehigh. This offense can be deadly, but this Riverton team is no joke. I'm going to go with Kearns on the road. Actually, no, I'm going to go with Riverton at home. I think Riverton at home. You know what? I'm going back to Kearns. I'm back to Kearns. I'm back to Kearns.
I should have reacted.
Close. I think this has a potential for a big drop down, let down week. Kearns, don't give up your focus. You're going to need every ounce against Riverton, but I got Kearns close.
I should have reacted. Folks, sometimes when you get the answer you want, don't say anything. I'm going Kearns. That's all I need to say.
I was back and forth on that one.
Yeah. Going Kearns. Manti, Richfield.
Interesting. You know, Richfield coming off the loss this week. Manti so close.
Oh
I think this is one where it's just like, if anything can go wrong for Manti this year, it has.
2 games like that.
That being said, Templars, it's this time. It's this week. I'm going with Manti to get a nice comeback. They were in that game.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you can build on that. I got Manti.
Yeah, that's a tough one. The tough loss against Crimson Cliffs, and now that loss this last week to Juan Diego stuff. Richfield. I'll go Richfield. I'll go with the Wildcats at home, taking care of business against the Templars. Brighton and Olympus.
Interesting matchup here. Brighton going to be going on the road. Olympus has looked like a better team the last week or two. You know, really that line of scrimmage has been tough for them to establish that physicality up front. Has limited their ability to really get the running game going. I don't think that gets any easier against a really good Brighton team. I got the Bengals.
I'm going Bengals too. Gabe Curtis has been outstanding.
Yeah.
Olympus still figuring stuff out. And I know Rice has had a great start to the year, and others. I'm guessing he's Lance Rice's son, former quarterback at Olympus, won a state championship, played at the University of Utah. At least the relative, but he wore 16, just like he did too. So I'm going to go Brighton.
Okay.
I'm all over Brighton. I think Brighton, they've done a great job. Desert Hills at Dixie, the newest St. George school. No, take it back. Not the newest anymore, Crimson Cliffs. The original school of St. George playing against Desert Hills.
Yeah, this Desert Hills team just doesn't quite look like we're accustomed to seeing the last couple years, and I got Dixie in this one. I think the Flyers, this game I think is probably close. I don't think it's as big offensive shootout. I think Dixie in a low scoring affair.
5-hour bus rides don't seem to really help Dixie. I think when they get home they play a little better. I'm gonna go with Dixie too. North Summit at Duchesne.
Yeah, interesting here because
and I know it's Duchesne. I'm just giving you a hard time.
This North Summit team had a nice win this last week over Layton Christian, and this is a team that has had some mix at the quarterback position. Wolstenhume played this last week in a big win over Layton Christian. I think this North Summit team returned a lot of players. I think they're a little undervalued. I think they're a lot better than maybe people expect or think they were. That being said, I think Duchesne, looking like the Duchesne that we've been accustomed to. Had a year or two there where it wasn't quite certain. It's certain now. I got Duchesne at home.
Yeah, Duchesne at home. Take care of that too. Orem at Lone Peak. Quite possibly our game of the week.
Yeah, big headliner here. And the Orem Tigers had in a battle with Alta this last week. I was surprised that Alta kept that as close as they did, but Orem found a way to win 24-14 over the Hawks. Meanwhile, for Lone Peak, this is going to be a great test for their offense. We were talking about that, Dusty, and you said, hey, I'm curious how good that offense can really be. This Orem defense is going to be one of the better defenses they've gone up against. In particular, that pass rush be a big test for that Lone Peak offensive line. That said, the Knights who say nay. I don't think that they let this Orem offense get going. I think Lone Peak comes out with a win.
Yeah, it's interesting because the Orem had that tough week against Sky Ridge. I expected, I thought it said a lot about what Alta was about, and not that I thought they just blow them out.
Yeah.
But the disparity, I thought, would be a little bit different just because of what you'd seen both.
Or even earlier, that Alta hung around in that game as long as they did.
But Alta's good, and I don't want to discount it because I think both of us saw the games at Sky Ridge. You're like, what's Alta? Alta's good. Coach Teo is building that team. I think that's what it showed. Going to Lone Peak, however, this offense has got to figure it out. And that's a tough defense to figure things out against. And all kinds of stuff happening around that program. I'm going to go with Lone Peak as well. I think this game's close. Lone Peak's offense, you said, I just want to know how good they are. We're going to find out. Jaden Ayu and Kruger can get after Luke Romney. This is a one-possession game in the fourth quarter, in my mind. This is going to be a close one.
Willits might be a big key for that Lone Peak ground attack as well.
Crew McChesney. Got to show up in the 80s there, man. Get it done. I'll go Lone Peak, too. All right, who do you got? Pick you against this. If you beat us, we'll talk about you. If you don't, we'll take the best ones. We'll talk about you too. So, but you're all beating us. We're really happy.
Yeah,
we're really happy about that.
We're glad that we could share.
Welcome to our pain. But for Vince Francis and Dane Stewart, I'm Dusty Litster. Thanks for joining us watching Deseret News Rewind on Deseret.com.